Hey guys, I'm Viper and welcome to my Chinese Grand Prix preview. As you can see on the screen, it's endurance cars around the Chinese Grand Prix circuit, so I hope you guys enjoy that in the background. And while that plays, let's get straight into the video. So, the Chinese Grand Prix, which is always hosted at the Shanghai International Circuit. The race has been on the calendar since 2004. Now, over the past few years, we've seen plenty of different winners, from Michael Schumacher to Fernando Alonso to Rubens Barrichello to Lewis Hamilton. Now, the person who's won here the most times is actually Lewis Hamilton. I can't remember exact years that he's won it. He's won it in the past 2 years, both 2014 and 2015, and I believe also back in 2008. Was it? Or 2009? I'm not entirely sure. Let me know in the comments below if you remember what the year he won in. But I believe he's won 3 times, which is the most anyone's ever won. I think Vettel's only won it twice. Alonso's won it twice, I think. Schumacher only won it once, I think, which was back in 2006, which was his last win in F1. I should probably point that out. And yeah, the circuit itself I think measures around 3.5 to 4 miles, with the longest part of the track being the back straight, which is about a mile long, I believe. And it's one of the, if not the longest straight on the calendar of any race. So there's that to consider. So in the past few years, like I said, when it came on the calendar back in 2004, actually, let's start from there. When it first started, the race was won and led by Rubens Barrichello, who back then in the Ferrari was obviously Michael Schumacher's teammate. Back then, obviously, the circuit was brand new, and over the course of that race, there was quite a bit of action. The Schumacher brothers had their hands full, with Ralf Schumacher returning later in that season, obviously due to a smash into the wall in Indianapolis earlier on in the season. And also, like I said, for many other drivers, it was a new circuit for all the drivers, so the race was completely different. The racing was different. Anyway, moving on a few years, and we get to 2007. Now, this was where Hamilton loses the championship, or a major key turning point. Hamilton, I think, was leading the championship by 12 points, and unfortunately, I don't know if this was his fault or not. I can't really say because I can't remember too much. But Hamilton stacked it into the gravel in the pit lane and caused him to retire. So this was the penultimate race of the season before Brazil, at which point he lost out to Kimi Raikkonen. Fast forward a couple of years, and we've got Nico Rosberg taking his first ever pole position at the circuit itself back in 2012, when Mercedes weren't still not at the best, but nevertheless, it was a fantastic result for Rosberg himself, and surprisingly as it sounds, Rosberg actually came out with the win. Unfortunately, Schumacher, it was a 1-2 for Mercedes that race, but unfortunately Schumacher had a problem when he was in the pit lane, so he ended up losing out quite a majority, and eventually retired due to the tyre becoming very, very loose and not continuing on with the race. Like I said, then 2013, it was actually won. The race was won by Alonso, not Vettel, Alonso. And also in the past 2 years, Hamilton has dominated, and I do mean this, dominated this race in particular. As for this year, can I see it being any different? Not really, but I can see a few more battles. Now, we've already seen from the first 2 races of the 2016 season how close and how good the racing is this season compared to the last season that we had, obviously back in last year. Now, for the majority of the racing, I'm going to say that Mercedes are going to be out front dominating, as they usually do, with Ferrari in hot pursuit. However, due to the amount of bad luck, and I have to admit it probably is just bad luck for Lewis, it's not really, he's been a bit unlucky at the first corner, in obviously Australia being bogged down at the start, and of course getting took out. I say took out, but leaving the door open and all that stuff. I won't get into it, but we had that incident with Bottas, and we'll leave it at that. So in terms of who I think will win, I'm going to say Hamilton from Rosberg. Now, this is race predictions first rather than qualifying. So I'm going to say Hamilton from Rosberg. Now, third place is a bit of a gamble. I'm going to say Vettel, and I'm going to hope that his engine doesn't blow up this time. However, 4th and 5th will be a bit of a shock. I'm not going to say Kimi Raikkonen in 4th or 5th. I'm going to say Kimi Raikkonen will be 6th. Now, You're thinking, wait, well, who are you going to say 4th and 5th? Well, here's the surprising and the shocking figure. Now, given how well, and this may not come as some surprise now when I'm saying it, but given how well Romain Grosjean has done in that Haas recently, I'm going to put him, and it's a bold prediction, I know, Romain Grosjean for 4th place with Daniel Ricciardo in 5th. Like I said, probably if I could predict the rest of the field, I'd probably say 6th would probably be Raikkonen, 7th would be Max Verstappen, 8th would probably be, let's see, who could that be? Carlos Sainz Jr., 9th would be Danny Clear, and 10th would probably be, and this again a ballsy move, it will probably be Jenson Button in the McLaren Honda. Yep, a McLaren Honda in the top 10. I definitely think they can get points at this circuit. Obviously, Red Bull even had said themselves that they're not very strong on power this season, but obviously they're getting an engine upgrade come Canada, so we should be able to see a better fight come Canada, obviously. But yeah, like I said, that's why I put Grosjean above. And as for qualifying, again, this is going to be ballsy. Now, I've said Rosberg for pole in the past 2 races, and this time I'm actually going to swap my placings around. I'm going to say that Lewis Hamilton takes pole this time around, because he has done in the first 2 races, so I guess he might, I'm going to say that he's going to take pole here, and obviously he's going to go on to win. Like I said, Rosberg 2nd, Vettel 3rd, Grosjean 4th, Ricciardo 5th, and like I said, 6th to 10th is kind of a mix, but I'm going to say Raikkonen from the rest, and Button taking the final points position in 10th. But anyhow, that's been my predictions. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure to the like button and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, I've been Vibe Racing, you guys have been also watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Ta-ra!